Well, about a third of the way through the season, we are in first place by 3 points, but that could change. Today, though, it is all about the cup and staying healthy and seeing how much money the board is going to give us to help our everyday finances running along, because, man, we are losing money hand over fist. I don't know that I could intentionally lose money this fast, but that's one of the challenges with this save. My name's FM19, and this is the Ritornu Gloria, Episode 3 with SC Bastia. Well, as you can see here, we are 3 points clear, 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. FC Cote Bleu and ES Canat Rocheville are tied at 16. So I think it's going to be a three-way race amongst us. Villefranche Saint-Jean can also kind of sneak in. I've changed skins again. This is the Champions League skin. I tend to do this quite a bit. There's a lot of skins out there that I like, but there's just enough wrong with some of them that drive me up a wall after a while, and I am not a coder by any stretch of the imagination. I'll be the first person to say that. You know, frankly, if aliens showed up tomorrow and said the fate of humanity rests on this guy coding in C# or something like that, say goodbye. It's not going to happen. Schedule-wise, since the loss to Cote Bleu, we've only played 2 games, and both of those were victories. First was against US Le Pontent Garde Avignon. We won 3-1. Poggi, Vincent, and Mesba with the goals. Then we played Aubin FC at home, and we won that game 1-0, thanks to a Vincent goal in the 65th minute. Today, we are playing Blagnac FC in the French Cup 5th round. They are also a 5th division club. They're in a different region than we are. They're not as good as we are, though. At least that's what all the pundits say. But then again, pundits have been known to have been wrong. But today, while we're going to play that, one of the things I wanted to go over was what I'm doing to help myself with training. And this is something I did when I first started out in FM19, and then I got away from it because, frankly, I dove into the deep end of Football Manager, and as luck would have it, I also gave myself an anvil that I didn't want to let go of. FM17 was my first game. I dove in head first in the deep end, with the anvil around my neck, and since then it's been figuring out stuff, watching videos, figuring out stuff, watching Twitch streams, figuring out stuff, and sometimes learning stuff on my own. But one of the things I did early on to see how my squad was developing was I built an attribute screen. And even though, for whatever reason, these don't want to... oh, there it goes. It wasn't doing that before. Built myself an attribute screen. And these are all the players on all the squads. Take off, make sure your unavailables are showing as well. And this is arranged by how they show up in their attributes. And then so you have your technicals... and I'm pointing, and you guys can't see it, obviously. So you have your technicals over here, your mentals over here, and your physicals over here. I use a red, yellow, blue, green system, and I haven't changed any of the numbers. So as you can see, the one thing that's going to be off a little bit, and I haven't gone in and changed it because, frankly, it's easier to track them visually, is the goalkeepers. But, say you select a player, and you want to see how they're improving. On this particular skin, you'll get a green thing going up or something going down. Anyhow, I'll mess with this later on too. Chances are I'll be changing skins again. It used to be development, attribute changes. You get this, and as bar graphs go, it's nice. You can add everything in there. So like if I add marking, why is it not letting me add marking? You can see, and it'll track, it was 8.8, now it's 9.0. So it's gone up a little bit. However, if you were to add everything, it basically turns into a whole jumbled line. So what I have found is if you go to the screen here, you go up into options, print screen, print it as a web page, okay, and save it. So I'm going to save this as October 18. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, October 18. If I open this now, you get essentially the spreadsheet in HTML format. But what you can do then is select it all, copy it, and paste it into the spreadsheet. Now this is the spreadsheet I originally used for the FM19, which is why it's got the height, weight, age, value thing over there, and that you don't have to ignore. So what we're going to do is something called conditional formatting, and they should already be set up. Now this is calc, because when I got this computer I didn't want to splurge for Office, and calc actually has a setting that lets you use Excel formulas. So what a conditional format is, it essentially tells the program to look at the data or a range of cells and say, if condition X is met, do Y. If condition Y is met, do Z. So I have one series of conditional formats, and it's essentially a lookup. And I'm going to move this over here just so you can see. And so what this is it says, take a look at C3. Compare that to A3 on your June of 18 tab, which is, oh, it's not going to show me here, but I'll show that in a second. Your range, which is going to be A2 to AL99, because frankly, if you have more than 99 members on your team, you are, well, seek help. And then you're comparing the columns, which is going to be the C through the AL columns, -1. Now, and how that actually works is, when you're using this particular formula, it looks at a -1 already. So essentially what this is saying is actually -2. Yeah, I know that's weird and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but essentially what this is saying is, if this number associated with this name is 2 less than this number was in this previous tab, turn it red. And then you have other ones set up where if it's 2 better, turn it green. If it's 1 less, turn it yellow. If it's 1 better, turn it a lighter shade of green. And if it's even, you know, if the number hasn't changed, then the color's not going to change. And this took a little bit of fooling around to do. Conditional formatting is hierarchical, so you have to make sure you set it up correctly. Otherwise, like if it's a +2 change, but you have your +1 rule in effect, it'll only change it to the +1 thing. Now, hopefully, if I click OK here and click OK here, well, that was mildly annoying. When you copy from the HTML format, you have to put it in as plain text, which took me a second to remember. But once you do, the conditional formatting takes effect, and you end up with something like this. So as you can see, Shardoni Masudi, who I believe is a youth player, has really, really improved. All of these stats have gone up. And if you want a comparison, you just go back to June of 18, and you find him. Now, this program, or this conditional formatting, is really, really cool, because what it does is it compares the value in the name before it does anything. Now, Christoph Vincent did not improve by all this much. This is because, as a test, when I was trying to figure this conditional formatting out again, I made his first few ones 3s, and then I saved it and totally forgot to do it. But like as an example, so all those are 3s. So if I just go back here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, you can see the color definition changes. So, you know, in June, say as an example, you know, all those stats were 3s. Well, his corners have gone down to 1, so that's a -2 drop. His crossing has gone down to 2, that's a 1 drop. His dribbling hasn't changed. His finishing's gone up by 1, so that's a light green. His first touch is a 5, that's gone up by 2. His free kick taking has gone up by 3, that's a +2. That's more than a +2 at least, so that'll go up to 6. And the same thing happens here. Like if for whatever reason Benjamin Santelli goes down to 1, that'll change to a red. So it'll give you the +1, +2, and greater changes. And the nice thing is, if I remember this correctly, if I was to select all this and go data auto filter and say I want to go sort ascending and click OK, you'll see all the things move down. I'm pointing to the screen here. I'm going to use my mouse. You'll see the formula looks at the name in A2. So no matter where that name is in your name column, once it finds it, that's when it will start comparing the columns, starting with C3. So this is a really good way to keep track of your players. Now, there's a couple of other things I'd like to try and do in terms of getting some point graphs and that going on for comparisons as well. As I said, though, I am not a programmer by any stretch of the imagination. That's one of the things I would like to do in the future, so that way you can get yearly or improvement comparisons. I'm going every 3 months right now. So June of 18 is where the team was when I first took over. October of 18 is where they are now, with me in charge of general training and individual training. Matthew Graziani, as you can see, has fallen down. I'd love for there to be a way. I could probably add an age. That wouldn't be a problem, but adding in current and potential ability, those don't translate to the HTML output, and they don't translate to the text output either. As an example, if I go back to the game and I take this and print screen text. Actually, you know what? Let me change this here real quick. So if I go to my squad view, so I've got my current and potential ability set up on there, and I go to print screen text. It saves it as an RTF file. And as you can see, if I'm going to pull this off to the side here, I can open up Calc again real quick. If I create, after the current sheet, if I create a new, if I have an open spreadsheet in Calc, drag the RTF file on there, it'll ask for a delimiter, which in this format I want to say is going to be the solid up and down line. That's what they're separated by. So if I click OK, yeah, it's going to open it like this. And as you can see, there's nothing in the ability and potential. Now the age, I could add in as well. It would be nice if there was a way to get a team status for players other than first team. If there was a way to mark them or color code them somehow that would actually translate over into the web page, that would let you see who your first teamers, your under 23s, your under 19, your youth players are, and things like that. But I think I am going to have to throw in age. And actually I do have age over here, so adding that in will not be an issue come October, November, December. So I'll probably check them end of December, beginning of January. And then one of the things you can also do with the conditional formatting is you can go in and change the tab you're looking at. So if, like, say I'm in January and I want to see what sort of improvement my guys have made in the 6 months, I change, I use this same formula. The only thing you're doing as you progress month to month is just you're referring back to the last training session you took. So come December, if I wanted to, I can compare my guys' improvement to October, and then if I wanted to put in another tab, I can compare them to June. So I also think once I figure out a way to do the point graphs and how SI does that, that'll also be a really good visual cue for seeing how well your guys improve. And for someone like me, I'm a visual guy. I mean, I'm in geography for a living, for crying out loud. So visual representations of data make a lot more sense to me, which drives my coworkers up to no end, because we do a lot of work with spreadsheets, and I tend to do a lot of stuff like this. I'm not the Excel guru in the office by any stretch of the imagination, but this to me is a really nice tool for helping me see how well my players are improving. A lot better than the bar graphs on the program. So, but this is what I'm using right now. The only player I think I have to be worried about is this Matthew Graziani, because he's fallen down at least one in all categories. So if we go take a look back at him, yep, he's a 16-year-old youth player. Okay, who, well, yeah. So that's one of the tools I'm going to be using this save. I don't know that I'll be showing it every 3 months. It's more for me than anything else. But if anyone else is interested, I'm more than happy to keep showing that in an episode. As it is, this particular part of the episode's gone quite long. We do have a French Cup game today, so I'm going to set the best 11 and the reserves for that. And oddly enough, we only get 5 reserves for this game, and we're going to come back with that in just a bit. Well, and this is the squad we are using today. It is our 4-2-3-1 with the asymmetric defensive midfielder. Adriani in goal, Ben Brom as the defensive left back, Bocanano and Mabaye as the defensive center back, Sioni as the defensive right back, Vincente as the defensive midfielder behind Carbace in the midfield, Santelli, Gadest, and Santini as the attacking midfielders with Mesbah up top as the lone striker. Oh, I gotta switch some stuff up around. This is a free kick for Blagnac. Martinez sends it in, knocked out. Ben Brom brings it forward, passes it up to Mesbah, who is all alone. Tries to round the keeper, but Mahout blocks it and sends it out. It's gonna be a corner kick in for us. Knocked out. Santini back out to Genest. He holds it up. And I guess it was a foul somewhere because it's a free kick. Mabaye already picked up a yellow card. Genest from outside the box sends it in. Mabaye's there and he scores. Because he's been offsides. Son of a gun. Yeah, I guess he was. Sierra, Genest intercepts the pass. Is he fouled in the penalty box? He is. And he scores. Well done. Game earlier in the season, he had a penalty kick. He kicked it right at the keeper. Keeper didn't even move. Keeper probably should have had a better job of getting that, but I'm not going to complain. Sioni on the throw-in. Carbace. Backheel pass to Genest. Back out to Sioni. He sends it in. Oh, Vincent at the top of the box to Santelli, and he scores. Well done. 2-0 up, 20 minutes into the game. Yep, Santelli just hovering at the corner of the 6-yard box there. All alone and unmarked. We are playing in Stade Armand Cesare today. This is not Stade Armand Cesare. They do not have the big screens in the corner. And they don't have the stands like that at either end of the goal. Corner kick in. Larabi scores. Now it was a penalty, though. Beforehand, somebody pushed someone. And so it was disallowed. Coming up on halftime here. Well, with a 2-0 lead, thanks to a Genest penalty kick and a Santini goal 3 minutes later, we're doing well. 6 shots, 3 on target for us, 3 shots, 2 on target for Blagnac. They've got a slight possession advantage, but it's really not helping them. We're winning more of our tackles. They're winning more of the headers. We've got one more yellow card than they do, but we're doing well. Let's keep this going, guys. Well, no highlights this second half so far. We are about 60 minutes in, so I'm going to make a couple of changes here. Mabaye is going to come off, if only because I don't want to have him out on the yellow. Genest is going to come off as well, even though he scored the goal. Santelli can play advanced midfielder in the center, but not that well. Manset can play winger on the left, but not that well. But that's the problem in some of these lower leagues. When you only have 5 subs, you got to make do. And with a 2-goal lead, I'm comfortable playing players who aren't all that great at their positions. They're both about 60% effective. Santelli from just outside the box. Oh, and he curls it just right at the post. Labissiere on the throw into Corminias. Out to Cruchet. Long pass to Martinez. Got behind the defenders. Outside of the box. Knocked away. Mihui. Back to Labissiere. His pass bounces off a Bastia player. He runs it down. Passes it to Sal. Over to Cruchet in the center. Taps it up to Tidier. Back to Cruchet. Up to Mihui. Martinez. Top the box. Over to Corminias. Mihui. Oh, nice goal. Adriani had a chance, but couldn't get it done. Some good ball movement by Blagnac there. Mihui just sat between the defenders. I don't know, maybe Adriani should have gotten that. I know the goalkeeping sprites don't exactly do what we think they're doing. Vincente steals the throw-in. Oh, he tries taking a long shot. Tries taking a long shot again. I'm trying to train him out of that. 4 minutes left. 3 minutes of extra time. This should be the last of it here. Mary knocks the ball away. Santini, long pass up into space, kind of towards Mesbah, but Labissiere runs it down for Blagnac. He sends it back to Mahout. Up to Sal. Towards Zalmate. He crosses it in, but it bounces off a Bastia player, but it goes to Mihui, who's dispossessed by Kerbache, but he gets it back. He sends it to Labissiere, sends it to Tider. Back and forth between Blagnac players. Labissiere sends it in. Aguilar. I think it's Aguilar. Had a header, but it was wide left. Adriani with the goal kick. Up to Kerbache, who gives it to Mihui. Well done. He's a youngster. Martinez. Don't know what happened there. And that is the game. Well, I like to think we escaped with a victory there. 5 or 10 minutes more, they probably would have equalized. Solid game for us. 12 shots, 5 on target, 27 total fouls, so 2 yellow cards. Slight possession advantage. The Jeunesse penalty and what saw us through. Santelli's goal was also very nice. As you can see in the upper left corner here, this is Stade Montsazari. As you can also see, there's no video cards in the center, and the stands are nowhere near as big as they are on either end of the goal. But still a nice stadium, 17,000 seats. And I clicked the wrong freaking button and confused and demotivated my entire team in the team talk. I'll let my assistant do that. Take a look at the plate here. Bastia edge out opponents in close encounter. It was. Blagnac gave us a fight. It was close at the end there. I think if they had 5 or 10 more minutes, they would have equalized. No problem. Well, we are playing SC Moan Sartou. I'm sorry. In the French Cup 6th round. They are an amateur team, it looks like, because their league is not coming up. They are an amateur team. So, that should be fairly, well, I'm not going to say fairly easy, but, you know, strange things have been known to happen. Mabai picked up his 3rd yellow card in 10 games with that yellow card in the last game, so he is out for our next competition. The Gambardella Cup is an under-19 tournament in France. And I don't remember this in FM19. Maybe because at the time Dunkirk didn't have an under-19 game, or it was called something else. But that's what that tournament is. And we're doing really well there, actually. At least the under-19 team is. We've won our first 2 rounds there. Schedule-wise. LSR2 is in 2 weeks. I don't want to come back for that. And they're an amateur team. I don't think it'll be an issue. We'll come back for the con game. They are currently in 3rd, and yeah, that's only 4 games for us, but this also starts the period of time where we just don't have a lot of games. So I'm going to try and schedule as many friendlies as I can in this part here. And then after the con game, we'll probably skip ahead to the January transfer window. And then after that, we'll be skipping months at a time. The season should be over fairly quickly. So, con's currently in 4th place. It'll be a good test for us. And that is what we will do. Any Excel gurus out there who have any ideas on how I can improve the spreadsheet, let me know. If that's something you want, let me know. I'm more than happy to send it to you or put it on the Google Drive or something like that and link it. I find it's a useful tool for me, especially now as I am taking over all of the training, and I need to track that a little bit better as well to see exactly what improvements the training is making too. It was a good win for us today. We squeaked it out, but I'm more than happy with that. My name is FM19, and I thank you for watching.